If you do not live up to every covenant you have made in the altars of this temple, on this day you shall be in my power. Somebody give me an Oscar. Give me a Tony.
Nah, it wasn't as good as him. Just remember him saying it from the podcast, and I don't remember him referencing it, so you may be right.
Oh, I am.
But the idea that the beautiful message that is supposed to come from Jesus as the Savior is swallowed up in the church's desire to control our lives and scare us into submission.
Well, and within Mormon doctrine, the very plan of salvation is, look at this bad guy, look at this good guy. Which one are you going to follow? Okay, there's a huge war in heaven.
Right.
A third of our, angelic, whatever, pre-bodied spirits went with Satan, and how horrible that is, because Satan was trying to control everything, and Jesus was like, let them choose on their own. We've always had this good versus evil complex within Mormonism. It's there in the very fabric of the story. And I mean, even Joseph Smith's, I don't know which version of the first vision he brought the overcame by a dark spirit before God delivered him.
That's the official one from 1838.
1838. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. There were a lot of them, y'all. I think we're up to 9. Some circles say 7, some circles say 9 versions of the first vision, and all of them are slightly different and varied, and in some ways vastly different. But one of them is this idea that I was overcome by this horrific darkness, and then I was delivered by this beautiful light. And so we are creating this fear from the time, like we are instilling this fear in our children before they even have an opportunity to think for themselves. From the time they're itty bitty,
right.
It's good versus bad, righteous versus evil. I remember Brig would have been 6 the first time your mother suggested that we cast the devil out of him, because she identified those early signs that our son had schizophrenia. Your mom identified as he's possessed by a devil and wanted to do some sort of weird ass exorcism through a priesthood blessing.
That's in the New Testament.
Right.
That comes with a precedent. Everybody, it would seem, and maybe I shouldn't use the word everybody.
Yeah, don't use the word everybody.
But from my recollection, every or nearly every situation in which Jesus was stated to have cast out the devil, that person was crazy.
Right.
There was craziness going on, what we would identify now as some sort of mental illness, like schizophrenia or whatever.
Right.
So there's this precedent. That's what's going on. And so, I don't fault my mom for thinking that, but it didn't come with an empathy of what's going on or what we're struggling with.
Right. There was no trying to understand. It was very dismissive, again, which doesn't surprise us, very dismissive of the possibility of any kind of mental illness or cognitive disease or something along those lines. It was very much cast the devil out of him and then your kid will be normal. And I was like, how the hell does a devil get inside my 6-year-old? He's not even, according to Mormon doctrine,
it's in the New Testament.
At the age of accountability.
It's in the New Testament.
Well,
so the idea is there, but yeah, instead of cast out the devil, bless him and heal him, that kind of thing. Like at the time, at least, I very much believed in the authority and the power of the priesthood to heal. But that's not the way that the narrative is in the scriptures.
Right. Well, and I always think, kind of that culminating event where it's like, let's instill fear when things get difficult or unpredictable or your life isn't going the way you want. And let's blame all of that on Satan. And the kind of that pinnacle thing for me was when I went through the temple for the first time, and you've got, was it Michael Ballum? Who played Satan? Was it Michael Ballum?
Yeah.
Who played Satan? And he's like, if you do not live up to every covenant you have made in the altars of this temple, on this day you shall be in my power. Somebody give me an Oscar. Give me a Tony.
Nah, it wasn't as good as him. Sorry.
Well, That's sexist. Anyway, so we've got this even in the most sacred place on earth.